Before George Lucas created the galaxy far, far away, THX 1138 was deemed too depressing and unmarketable by studio executives who couldn't comprehend its chilling vision of dehumanized future society. The cast has finally revealed secrets that will transform your understanding of this prophetic masterpiece about surveillance and freedom. The film that almost destroyed Lucas's career. What most fans don't realize is that THX 1138 was so radically different from anything Hollywood had seen that Warner Brothers executives recut the film without Lucas's permission, removing crucial scenes and destroying the director's carefully constructed pacing. The studio couldn't understand how audiences would accept a science fiction film with no clear heroes, no romance, and no happy ending. Robert Duvall revealed years later that even the cast questioned whether the film would find an audience. "We were making this sterile, minimalist movie about emotional numbness and totalitarian control when audiences wanted action and adventure. George was creating art disguised as science fiction, and that terrified executives who needed clear commercial categories. The film's experimental nature made it impossible to market conventionally." Donald Pleasance disclosed that the production's underground guerrilla approach worried studio officials. George shot in locations and with techniques that had never been used for science fiction before. "We were filming in tunnels, using non-professional actors, and creating this completely artificial world on a minimal budget." The unconventional methods challenged Hollywood's expectations about filmmaking. Maggie McComey noted how the film's themes of emotional suppression affected the entire production. "We were playing characters who had been conditioned to eliminate feelings, which created this strange atmosphere on set where everyone had to suppress natural human reactions." The subject matter influenced the filmmaking process in ways that enhanced the final result while making production uniquely challenging. The underground city that buried humanity. The sterile underground society of THX 1138 wasn't just a futuristic setting. It was George Lucas's vision of how technological civilization might evolve toward complete environmental control and human management. What the cast revealed about filming in this artificial world shows how they created believable dystopia through practical locations and innovative design. The underground tunnels and chambers were filmed in actual locations, including the Bay Area Rapid Transit System under construction, creating authentic, claustrophobic environments that enhanced the film's themes of confinement and control. "Those tunnels felt genuinely oppressive and institutional," disclosed Robert Duvall. "You didn't have to imagine living in a dehumanized environment. You were experiencing it during every day of filming." The decision to use real industrial and institutional locations rather than constructed sets was crucial to the film's believable dystopian atmosphere. "George wanted everything to feel cold, functional, and slightly wrong," revealed Donald Pleasance. "The locations had to suggest a society that had prioritized efficiency over human comfort or individual expression." The underground society's complete separation from nature and surface reality reflected fears about how technological advancement might isolate humanity from natural environments. "The characters have no connection to seasons, weather, or organic life," noted Maggie McComey. "They exist in a completely artificial ecosystem that has eliminated unpredictability and natural variation." The setting became a character representing technological society's potential endpoint. THX's pharmaceutical enslavement. The mandatory drug regimen that suppresses emotions and maintains social control wasn't just science fiction speculation. It was George Lucas's prescient warning about pharmaceutical social management that anticipated contemporary debates about medication, mental health, and behavioral control. What Robert Duvall revealed about portraying chemically controlled consciousness shows how they created believable pharmaceutical dystopia. Duvall disclosed his approach to playing someone whose emotions were artificially suppressed. THX isn't emotionless. He's chemically prevented from accessing his natural feelings and reactions. "I had to convey a person whose authentic self was buried under pharmaceutical conditioning rather than completely eliminated." The performance required showing humanity struggling beneath chemical restraint. The film's depiction of drug-based social control anticipated how psychoactive medications might be used to manage populations rather than treat individual medical conditions. The society uses drugs to eliminate dissatisfaction and rebellion rather than to cure illness, Duvall explained. THX's world shows how medication could become a tool for political control rather than medical healing. The withdrawal symptoms that THX experiences when he stops taking his medications weren't just plot devices. They represented the physical and psychological challenges of breaking free from systemic chemical dependence. THX's struggle with drug withdrawal mirrors anyone's experience of breaking free from dependencies that seem to provide stability while actually limiting growth, noted Duvall. The pharmaceutical elements became metaphors for all forms of artificial emotional regulation and social compliance. LUH's awakening and tragic love. Maggie McComey's portrayal of LUH 3417 represented the film's exploration of how love and genuine human connection could emerge even within systems designed to eliminate emotional bonds. What she revealed about developing this character shows how they created authentic feeling within a world that had systematically suppressed humanity's emotional capacity. McComey disclosed her interpretation of LUH's emotional awakening. LUH discovers feelings that her society has taught her don't exist or matter. Her love for THX isn't just romance, it's a complete rebellion against everything she's been conditioned to believe about human relationships and individual worth. The character's journey became about rediscovering suppressed humanity rather than simple romantic attraction. The character's ultimate fate reflected the film's realistic approach to individual resistance against totalitarian systems. LUH's destruction shows that love and awakening don't automatically guarantee survival in oppressive societies, revealed McComey. Sometimes consciousness comes at a cost that individuals must accept for the sake of preserving human values, even when they can't change entire systems. Sens bureaucratic collaboration. Donald Pleasance's Sen 5241 wasn't just a supporting character. He represented the bureaucratic class that enables totalitarian systems through willing collaboration and ambitious compliance. What he revealed about developing this character shows how they created a believable portrait of systematic enablement and institutional corruption. Pleasance disclosed his approach to playing someone who benefits from oppressive systems. Sen understands the society's limitations but works within them because he gains status and privilege through compliance. He represents everyone who chooses personal advancement over moral resistance to systematic injustice. The character embodied the banality of evil through bureaucratic ambition. The character's ultimate punishment for minor infractions demonstrated how authoritarian systems maintain control through unpredictable enforcement and arbitrary consequences. Essien discovers that collaboration doesn't guarantee protection when the system decides you're expendable, noted Pleasance. His fate shows that even willing participants in oppression remain vulnerable to the systems they serve. The surveillance state that sees everything THX, 1138's omnipresent surveillance system, wasn't just science fiction paranoia. It was an eerily accurate prediction of how technology would enable unprecedented monitoring and control of individual behavior. What the production team revealed about creating this surveillance dystopia shows how they anticipated contemporary debates about privacy and digital monitoring. The constant audio and visual monitoring that pervades every aspect of the characters' lives reflected growing concerns about government surveillance capabilities and their potential for abuse. Every conversation, every action, every thought is potentially subject to official scrutiny, disclosed technical directors. The film shows how complete surveillance eliminates the possibility of private life or individual development. The society's use of confession booths and psychological reporting created a system where citizens monitor themselves and each other rather than relying solely on external surveillance. The most effective totalitarian control comes when people police their own thoughts and behaviors, noted production designers. THX's world shows how surveillance states can make citizens complicit in their own oppression. The automated response systems that address citizen complaints with pre-programmed meaningless reassurances anticipated how artificial intelligence might be used to manage public dissatisfaction without addressing underlying problems. The confession booths provide the illusion of being heard while ensuring that no real communication or change occurs, revealed sound designers. The Chrome police and enforcement logic. The metallic police robots weren't just futuristic law enforcement. They were George Lucas's vision of how authority might become completely dehumanized and algorithmic, removing empathy and moral judgment from social control. What the production team revealed about creating these mechanical enforcers shows how they anticipated automated policing and algorithmic justice systems. The Chrome Police's emotionless efficiency represented the logical endpoint of law enforcement systems that prioritize order over justice and compliance over individual rights. The robot police follow programming rather than making moral judgments about the situations they encounter, disclosed costume and effects teams. They represent authority without wisdom, power without compassion, and enforcement without understanding. The police robot's vulnerability to destruction revealed that even the most advanced control systems contain weaknesses that determined individuals can exploit. THX's ability to destroy the Chrome Police shows that technological oppression isn't invincible when people are willing to resist despite personal risk, revealed special effects supervisors. The mechanical enforcers became symbols of systematic authority that appears overwhelming, but contains inherent limitations that conscious resistance can discover and exploit. The escape that offered no promises. THX 1138's ending, where the protagonist emerges onto the surface to witness a sunset, wasn't a triumphant conclusion, but an ambiguous beginning that refused to guarantee that freedom would be better than oppression. What the cast revealed about this controversial ending shows how Lucas rejected conventional resolution in favor of realistic uncertainty. The surface world's unknown conditions and challenges meant that THX's escape might lead to death rather than liberation. The ending doesn't promise that freedom will be easier or more comfortable than the underground society, disclosed Robert Duvall. THX gains the right to choose his own fate, but that choice comes with risks and responsibilities that the controlled society had eliminated. The sunset imagery suggested natural beauty and authentic experience, but also highlighted THX's complete inexperience with environmental challenges and survival requirements. THX has never seen weather, wildlife, or natural landscapes, noted production designers. His freedom comes with the need to develop capabilities that his society had made unnecessary. The ending's ambiguity reflected the film's realistic approach to social change and individual resistance. Breaking free from oppressive systems doesn't automatically create better alternatives, revealed Lucas. The philosophical warning about human engineering beneath THX 1138's science fiction surface lay profound philosophical questions about human nature, social engineering, and the price of eliminating suffering through technological control. What the cast revealed about these deeper themes shows how the film operated as both entertainment and intellectual warning about humanity's technological future. The society's elimination of pain, uncertainty, and emotional extremes represented the logical outcome of technological attempts to solve human problems through environmental manipulation rather than individual growth. THX's world shows what happens when societies prioritize comfort and stability over growth and authentic experience, disclosed Robert Duvall. The characters live without suffering, but also without genuine joy, love, or personal development. The film's exploration of whether happiness requires the possibility of unhappiness challenged contemporary assumptions about progress and social improvement. The underground society has solved poverty, violence, and inequality, but the cost is everything that makes life meaningful, noted Donald Pleasance. Watch the film again with appreciation for its revolutionary visual design, its accurate predictions about digital surveillance and pharmaceutical social management, and its sophisticated exploration of freedom versus security in technological societies. Notice how every element serves the larger warning about losing humanity in the pursuit of perfect social control. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into cinema's most prophetic and philosophically challenging science fiction achievements. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. And let us know in the comments which aspect of THX's dystopian world feels most relevant to contemporary society.